Hello everyone, and this is a video about the plugin called Mythical Races, version 0.0.1, and this will be a showcase and a tutorial on how to use the plugin and what the plugin is. So first of all, we're going to go over what the plugin is, and it's quite simple really. We do /races help. Races is the main command. We do races, pretty much what races is that you pick a mythical creature inside of a list, and you get certain attributes and potion effects for that race, to put it simply. So for example, if we do /races list, you'll get a couple races here, and these are just a few ones. You can actually add your own, and I'll show you that a bit later. But we'll just choose one for now, and to do so, we do /races choose, and let's just do elf. And nice, you got some special, you got effects from like an elf, right? But you need to know what actually, what the elf has. So we can do /races info and then elf, and then I have a little description of what the elf is. You have daytime effects, nighttime effects, max health reduced, speed jump, right? All the goodies here. But if we do /races GUI, it'll bring up this nice GUI, you could say, and it says your race and a little description about each race. So for example, vampire, daytime effects, nighttime effects. You can pause the video and see like the effects of each one, right? But right now it's nighttime, so we get all the good effects of the nighttime effects, you could say. But if we do /day, right, wait a little bit, like 5 to 10 seconds, and then you realize that, oops, you get the daytime effects. So it's exactly like that throughout each race. It's pretty neat. And if we just /races help again, see if I didn't miss anything. And yeah, that should be the basics of the plugin. And now we are going to on to what the plugin, like how to add a race and how to edit the configuration. And to do so, we have to open up the file for it, and it's this long mega file, pretty much. Adding a race is actually pretty simple. I'll show you right now. But very quickly, this is very important. So these things here, these are attributes, okay? These are the attributes you can add in the attributes modifiers in the list, and these are only potion effects that you can add. So for example, it cannot be jump underscore boost. It has to be one of these, right? And jump is just called jump. Jump boost is jump. Okay, now let's go on to actually figuring out how the plugin works. We're gonna start over here. So data by UUID, exactly as it says. There's a file called, if I were to open it up, it's called data.yml, and pretty much what this plugin is that what this feature you could say is that if it stores by UUIDs or it stores by player names. So I guess this would be used for crack servers. So set it to false if you're using a crack server, you could say. So default race, of course, the default race upon joining. In this race, it's cap sensitive for the default race. Okay, so it has to be like elf or human, or it has to be like one of these, like underneath the races. Okay. Now night start and night end. This is pretty much when you get the nighttime effects. It's in ticks between these two numbers. Let's see here. So pretty much every 20 ticks, or so 20. Actually, let me rephrase that. 20 ticks is equal to 1 second, and pretty much it says that every 5 seconds, check for potion effects and apply accordingly. So like it knows if it's daytime or nighttime, or if you run out milk bucket, stuff like that. GUI name, if choosing race here, right? So if we were to go back over here and do /races GUI, it says choosing race. It's quite neat. And then we do a player display, it just says U, which is just a display name for your head. And over here we have GUI player display number, and what that is, that's a slot that the head is in. So it starts at 0 and then goes 1, 2, 3, 4, if that makes sense. And they have GUI slots. So GUI slots, saying it wrong, but it's the amount of slots it's as inside this GUI or GUI, you could say. Right. Now forward click item, it's paper. You click this item, it goes to the next page, next page, next page. But there's nothing in these pages because we didn't set anything to actually be in those. And let's set that quickly. Let's see your forward click. Forward click is just where the paper is. Forward click display, next page, easy. GUI player lore, race, as if we go back over here again, do such race as GUI, race vampire. It's quite simple. Now, we're going to go on to our races. Now, I'll go a bit slow on this part because I might take some explaining. The other part's not really. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go over to human because this is where, everything's pretty much basic of a human. And we're going to copy this entire little segment here. Okay, so all the way from human to the 0.1, right above dwarf. We're going to copy that, Control C, go all the way down, keep going down until you go to this next area here. And then you just plop it right under there. Okay? So remember that this word here has to be aligned with the rest of the words, the race names. And we will call this race just test. It's nothing fancy, but that's how it is. So the display name will just be called test, because if we go back over here on the races GUI, that's what the display name is. So for Magma Cube, the display name is Magma Cube. It's pretty neat. Material, we'll name this a different material, and we'll call it like let's say dirt. Dirt's cool, right? And GUI page. Pretty much what this GUI page is it the page like the dirt block is in, you could say. So for example, if I were to put GUI page 1, it would appear in this GUI, right? And in slot 11, you could say, right? But if I were, for example, if I were to put this in like GUI page 2, right? It would appear over here in this area here on slot 11. Oops, my bad. Where is it? There it is. Okay. Now for now, we're just going to keep it as GUI page 1 and slot. We're going to go scroll up a bit, and the last slot was 22, so the empty slot will be 23. Please keep in mind is that if you keep both of these the same number, like 22 and 22, the one that's after it will overwrite that number. So whichever comes later will overwrite that spot. So just keep in mind that I keep it in a empty slot. So here we have the lore, and of course we just do test race, and we'll have a nice little description called like grass. Grass is cool, because grass is cool. And we're gonna give some potion effects now. Okay. Now we have day passive potion effects, the amplifier, the attributes for day, and the attributes amplifier for day. And we want test to have, some more hearts because that's cool. We want them to be very lively. So you can just scroll back up in top here, and you can find something called generic max health. That changes the health. And knockback resistance, movement speed. Movement speed default for a player is 0.1. Remember that. And attack damage and so forth. I'm gonna scroll that back down. And we want this player to have like, I don't know, let's say an extra 2 hearts. Okay, so and only in daytime, because that's what we want. Now we're gonna go over to the attributes and add another line to it for the day passive attributes, and then right underneath the amplifier, put the default is 20.0, so you can do 24.0 for adding 2 extra hearts. Okay. Now how this works is so whatever is the first line here will be it will take the first line, like the first number from here. So the second number will take the second number, and third number. And it's the same thing with the potion effect. So if you want like speed, right? You're going to have to just remember to get rid of these little, I forgot what they're called, but get rid of these things, right? You don't, if it's null, the plugin just kind of ignores that list that's inside there. So just sort of like backspace that and keep it as 0 or something. Now 0 is 1 in the plugin. So if it's 0 here, it's gonna have a potion amplifier of 1. And if it's and same thing, if you put 1, it's gonna be 2 in the when you apply it. So for example, daytime passive effects, we're gonna add it here and say speed 2. And I'll have speed 2. But if you want speed 1, it'll have to be 0. So it's just 1 below the number that you want. We'll give those 2 and then 1 here. Okay? And let's see what else. We're going to add something to like the nighttime too. So for the night, we're going to have generic armor. Now generic armor is pretty much just the armor that you wear, but like, you know, without the armor aspect, if that makes sense. But you'll see. But I go over here and just say, I don't know, let's say 20, 10.0, but 10.0 is generic armor. So extra 10 armor. I spelled that wrong. Okay. Now the daytime I'll have speed of 2. Nighttime I'll have generic armor. Now please keep in mind is that you're going to have to keep this generic movement speed attribute unless you want the player to go like Mach 5. Right? 0.1 means that it keeps 0.1 is a default value for running, you could say. So if I were to change this number to like 0.8 or something, like 0.8 or like 1.0, it will make the player extremely fast. So 0.1 is the default speed for player movement speed. So if we were to save that, right, and go back over here to our nice server, do reload confirm, and wait for that to reload. And do such day, because you know, we want it to be day, and do such races list. We're gonna have something called test up here. It's pretty cool. And we do such races GUI, and boom, look at that, test. Right? And because it's day, oh wait, I'm still a magma cube for race. So races GUI, still magma cube. So if we click on test, right, now we have speed 2, and an extra 2 hearts, as you see up here. Now, if we were to make it nighttime, wait, you can see I got 10 armor here, like so. Yeah. Okay, but to keep in mind is that I kind of forgot to say this. Is that I have 2 hearts here. If you want to like get rid of those 2 hearts, like put them back to normal, just add another attribute here where it says, just put 20.0, because sometimes the attributes just kind of stay on. So what you're gonna have to do is actually add back more attributes to normal if you want to have like different day and night attributes. So we've saved that and then reload the server again. Right, and then you realize the 2 hearts disappear. But if we go back to day, you see 2 hearts appear again. Now back to night. And then you see the 2 hearts disappeared. Alright, now this is extremely customizable, but what if we want this test block to be on, you know, the next page, right? And in this slot here, you could say, where the elf slot is. So we go to the next page, you see nothing is there, except for the next page again and again and again. And to change that, we go back over here to our test race GUI page, slot 2, find where what that elf number was. Elf number was slot 10. Let's rename it back to 10. Then reload the server. and then it just erases GUI, and then you realize it's gone, next page, but boom, test is there. We click test and you've chosen the race test. And it keeps going, so you can do GUI page number 3, 4, 5. You can add as many races as you want. Of course, the amount of default races are 11. Now let's make a new race, just so you can get another idea of it. But this time on GUI page number 3. And this one we'll call it something nice. Oh, it's skeleton. It's not really skeleton, but it's a skeleton. Of course, you can change anything you want here. Skeleton slot will be 10 again. Let's change this. Let's skeleton. Grass is cool. Bones are cool. So is milk. And as a skeleton, we're gonna make this nice skeleton extremely fragile. And to do so, we're gonna give a fast but fragile skeleton. So we're gonna change the movement speed amplifier to 0.3 for day and night. We're gonna lower the health on it of max health to or say 10, so it's half the original health. And armor, it's not gonna have any armor, so we're gonna delete the middle and the middle for the night. I hope you have understanding of what this is. So once again, the first item in this list is the first item, like the first number for this list in here. And second, third, fourth. Okay? Same with potion effects. Now, keep in mind is that the plugin won't make an error if you type in the wrong potion effect. It will just kind of ignore that. Like if it's invalid, it will just ignore and not create an error for that. Right? But let's make this skeleton extremely lucky, where it's like beyond luck. So it's 50 luck, 51 luck. It's really nice. So just in the daytime, he's extremely lucky. So 51 luck and speed too. And nighttime, you have increased speed, half health, and increased speed. No, actually, at night we'll have him have a little more health. There we go. And we want a night potion effect, and the night potion effect will be, we're gonna say, like unluck instead. So we're gonna do unluck, and remember to delete the null and the characters surrounding the null, and put 2. So putting 2 will mean 3 unluck, like amplifier 3. We'll save that. We're gonna go back to the server, reload, confirm, races list, and this suddenly skeleton appears, races GUI, next page, and look at that, skeletons are there. And since it's nighttime, we're gonna have bad luck instead. So go back to daytime now, and yeah, we have half health, but we have like a ton of luck. Look at that, level 51. It says right on the left of luck. So we're extremely lucky now. Now, to go over how the permissions work, let me quickly just races GUI. Go back to human, back to normal. And how the permissions work is quite simple. I have a little list here. At the very bottom, mythical races.help is for the help menu. The GUI is for the GUI menu. Mythical races.info.races are for the info. So for example, again, such races info, and then dwarf. It displays that. Now, to give a user a permission for a specific race, it's mythical races.race. And the race name. So what it means is this. So mythical races.race.skeleton or .dwarf. Remember, this is capital sensitive, so it has to be the exact name of this. The exact name of this, or the exact name of like sentinel, elf, and it has to have like, you know, the capital in front of it, or if you didn't put a capital in the configuration, that word. It has to be that word though, okay? And that should be the plugin. I did go a bit fast in the beginning of this video. I am short on time. But yeah, no, thank you for watching. Have a good day or night to everyone.